Hey guys, Camper 15, joined by my co-host Red Wolf. We are back at it with another episode review of MHA, My Hero Academia, Vigilantes, and we have concluded the Aizawa backstory, and sadly, seen the death of Shirokumo.
Yeah, not a way I was expecting him to go out. Damn.
With all due respect, can I just say this? It was a sad death, unfortunate death.
Careful with what you say.
I was kind of let down. Now, let me explain. The reason is, I thought, like, said villain, it would be like he died in a fight or something. But he died due to Rebel protecting children, which he did the right thing, but at what cost?
Collateral damage here.
Now, the only other thing I am kind of also disappointed in is, now I know this would be more on the villain side. I still want to know, how did All For One get Shirokumo's body to turn him into Kurogiri?
I don't think we're going to see that. I mean, obviously, we see his body getting covered up right now, and I'm assuming as they were taking him away, that's when All For One makes his move. I don't know.
I guess so. Yes. Now, apologies for missing last week's episode. Slackers, we are.
Speak for yourself. I was recording.
Slackers, we are. Anyways.
This is a load of barnacles.
Anyways, what kind of happened last week was them just being in their internship. The teacher, or not the teacher, the hero that was teaching them. Oh boy, you know.
Flashy.
Let's just say we've seen very flamboyant characters in the main show. I think this guy takes the case. When I'm seeing this man shoot, excuse my language, lasers that are purple from his nipples.
I forgot about that. I legit forgot about that.
I don't know if I was disturbed, questioning life, or just frankly asking myself, the hell am I watching? But I saw that and I just had to be like, okay.
Yep.
And the crazy part is, he's got the face of Chad from Bleach.
Yeah, actually, you're right.
I'm just gonna call him flamboyant Chad.
How dare you do that to my boy like that?
Mind you, this Chad is not. This guy is not muscular like Chad, but hey, I guess the inspiration from the face clearly drew from Chad, so that's a positive. So there's that. Also, too, again, you said I this is why I regret not reviewing the episode with you last week. I said that it looked like Shirokumo had a thing for Midnight and he had a crush. Because at the end of the last week's episode,
yeah,
it was clear.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
He
You're right.
was
You're
crushing on her because he's like, you know what? Maybe I'll join your agency, because Midnight was talking about like, oh please, I don't need to be in an agency with other people. I gotta be the dominatrix. And you see this freaking visual of her sitting on dudes and dudes at her feet. And Shirokumo was like, you know what? Actually, I would love to be a part of your agency. So again, I was right. The man had a crush on Midnight.
You're right. You're right. You're right. You're right. All right, moving on.
How many times do I gotta tell this man over here? When I imply something, it usually ends up being true.
The moment you prove to me you're actually the Zone Zero King and you actually get 2 S ranks in a row.
I have gotten that. I saw that and I'm like, oh man, I had to tell my boy about that. And of course, he was dead ass wrong. Anyways, last week's episode ended off in a way of obviously foreshadowing the Shirokumo death. So this is what we get this week. So we start the episode off again, happy-go-lucky moments, fun, great moments, and probably the last moment Aizawa ever had a good laugh and a good time with Shirokumo. So they were out essentially doing their hero work. And essentially there was like these kids, right? These kids walk into class or I guess out for a walk with their teacher. So basically Shirokumo gives them a ride on the Nimbus cloud. One of them almost falls off and cracks their head, but Aizawa comes in and saves him, or saves the little kid. And they're just having a nice good old time. Now in the meantime, we go over to President Mike and the one other dude. Apparently he's got goggles now too.
Mm-hmm.
Again, then this guy tried to make sure like, oh, I was the one that did inspiration for these goggles. And then President Mike's like, oh please, it was Shirokumo's at first, then Aizawa decided to go for it, so you're copying off of him. So of it, and we see them going in to fight this toad thing. I don't know what the hell this thing is. It was just a gigantic kaiju frog.
Yeah, they call it a villain, and yeah, and apparently it's a quirk is a stock. It's called stock, which he can absorb quirks and then fire them off at will. He can absorb a lot of it, and fire it all at once.
So essentially, what happens is after they Aizawa and Shirokumo take care of the kids, they overhear on their comms like, "Hey, you evacuate the area. There's a dangerous villain." And this is and then obviously the toad thing obviously isn't in the vicinity. So they end up running into the kids and the teacher, and they try to get them out of there, but they're basically trapped between a rock and a hard place because the toad starts firing off the quirks, the quirks he stockpiled, right? And how does the unfortunate death of Shirokumo happen?
As you said earlier, he protected the kids, but he couldn't protect himself from the falling rubble. He ultimately got crushed, and Aizawa has living the false reality this whole time, like thinking he's just buried in the rubble and still alive. But nope. That was, unfortunate, tragic, and quick.
Now, the cool thing is, we actually see Aizawa fight, and he took down this toad thing. Now, he had some trouble at first. Also, too, Purple Chad gets involved. Dude.
Okay.
Now, how about, Flamboyant Chad. My bad.
How is that any better? Anyways, move on.
You thought he was going to put up a fight? The man got bitch slapped.
Yeah, by President Mike's moves.
Yes, out of all moves. Did they confirm if he was alive? Did he manage to get out of there alive, or was he dead?
No, he was just he's just injured. He's just injured. He's really injured. He didn't die, but.
So essentially, regardless, this is when Aizawa. Let's just say this is one of the best Aizawa fights I've seen in the entire series, and the fact that he took this thing down was absolutely crazy. So he was having trouble as is. So eventually he comes up with the idea, and again, it's like my friend said, he's thinking that he hears Shirokumo's little device thing saying to encourage him, but we later find out it was just his imagination talking, right? And encouraging him to get through the fight and not die. Essentially, he uses his quirks to stop the stockpiling effect. But see, the toad has like these little balls that pop up that release the quirk that he's doing. And in a crazy, insane way, Aizawa uses his tape He gets on top. He wraps all those things up that are stockpiling the quirks, and then he kicks it into the toad's mouth, and he releases his quirk.
And boom, it blows up in his body.
I'm shocked that thing was still alive. But Aizawa ended up beating this gigantic ass villain. Again, Aizawa with the insane feats. It's not like we didn't see Aizawa do these insane feats in the actual main series, but this was impressive. And mind you, this was Aizawa as a high schooler. Not the Aizawa we know from the main series, right? So obviously, after the fight is over, obviously Aizawa's like, "Hey guys, hey, where's Shirokumo?" And essentially, everybody, you see Midnight looking down. She can tell. Obviously, President Mike knows, and they're like, and Aizawa's like, "Come on, guys, I heard him. His voice, he was talking to me." And the one dude tells him like, "Look, man, I think the device is broken. I think you were just imagining his voice because that was the only way to help you overcome this fight. So I'm sorry, man." And you just see the lifeless body of Shirokumo there being removed from the rubble. And damn, yeah, he's confirmed dead.
Mm-hmm.
Midnight's
As
like,
for
"Hey,"
what happened,
go ahead. Sorry.
as for what happens next to his body after that, I think we all know what happens after that. But
Yeah. Midnight's like, "Hey, look, I think we need to go," but President Mike's like, "Nah, we're gonna stay here for a bit. We're gonna be okay." So you can really see that Shirokumo's death affected Aizawa.
mm-hmm.
Because this is when he started to turn into the Aizawa he was, or we see at least early on in the series, right? And we kind of see how, teachers are observing him. They're saying like, "Oh, it's still same old same old. He's got average grades, but to be honest, like he's doing a lot better in combat." And he has the one talk with his one homeroom teacher from his second year, and his homeroom teacher's like, "So what are you gonna do?" And Aizawa basically mentions like, "I'm gonna go out, graduate, and I'm gonna go start my own agency and be on my own. But at the same time, I'm gonna be doing things off the black market." And his teacher is like, whoa, come on, man, chill. Like, what are we doing here? And he's like, "This is the path I'm dealing with." So you literally get to the graduation. We actually don't even see his parents there, so we don't know if his parents were in attendance. And President Mike is following him, and he's like, "Hey, Yama," he's like, "Hey, man, where you going?" And he's like, "It's time to go be an adult." Basically, was what he was saying.
He just left them dipped, and he started doing undercover missions, like he said.
Yeah. And essentially we just see what we get to, and it even cuts to the stuff from the previous season with Knuckle Duster and Koichi and things like that and stuff like that. And you just see how he's been living his life since then. So we cut back to the present. The rain has stopped. He basically walks away and he's like, "All right, well, take care of that cat." But basically what happens is they end up actually going to the store owner brothers. Now the shocking part is we see Octoman, and apparently he's better. He's good now. And he has an affection for cats.
Yep. You cannot relate, I'm sure.
Oh no, I cannot relate. The only cats I would be messing around is little cute kittens. Kittens, fine. Grown ass adult cats, fuck off. Anyways. I was shocked to see Octoman was cool. So apparently they're gonna start a cat cafe.
You might want to stay away from that one.
Um,
You
and
specifically.
apparently they're also using it as a way maybe for them to get girls because they were talking like, girls really like cats too, so maybe that way we can get a girlfriend.
Yeah, but then they'll be scared of a giant bug man. Also.
Oh yes, the bug dude is helping them too.
Hmm.
So I guess these are the homies. I guess these are Aizawa's homies for now. But yeah, that was realistically basically it of the episode. So look, I think now getting this backstory, and I was reflecting about this after the episode ended. Now it makes sense when you go to the main show, and for example, you get the season 4 moment with Aizawa and Deku telling when he told Deku, "Hey man, I'm gonna be by your side this entire raid on the Shihei Hasaikai. But the moment things get crazy, I want your ass out of there." It's also the exact reason why he was very overprotective about everybody in Class 1A in the final few arcs of the series, because guess what? He cares about his students. He didn't want Class 1A to end up like they did with Shirokumo. In a weird way, that was kind of his redemption story, because he could see the potential that they all had. And he's like, they got the potential of Shirokumo. Or even better than that. And I can't let these freaking kids, the future, fall like how Shirokumo did and how I failed to save Shirokumo. So when you reflect from this backstory to where Aizawa is, and you can clearly tell, you see the Shirokumo moment changed him. And maybe also to change him, maybe that was the number one reason why he decided to start teaching. He wanted to teach students, hey, do not take life for granted. If you're going to do this hero work, it's dangerous. That's why he expelled all these students for all these years, because he was telling these students, hey, don't joke around, don't mess around. This is serious business, because you could go out there and that you could take that could be the last day you're ever living. Basically kind of like what you do when you see with cops, firefighters, all these first responders, people. You never know when your last moment, and shit, that's even just real life. You never know when your last moment is coming. When it's time to go, it's time to go. My religion is Christianity, and again, God does always have a plan. So when it's your time to go, that's all a part of God's plan. You can't do nothing about it. So it really does hit home. It really does hit to see, like, okay, now we see why Aizawa is the character he is in the main show, how he feels about Class 1A, because of the Shirokumo stuff. So it hits deep. It hits deep. But now you really see, like, no, he loves his students. He gets annoyed, but he loves his students. Also, we do see in the montage, he gets the same habits, like the sleeping in the fucking sleeping bag. So we see how he developed those habits and everything. Oh, we also did see a cameo of Miss Joke.
Yeah, we did.
So yes, I guess the relationship does go back. So maybe she was telling the truth that she's always had some feelings for him.
Yes.
Albeit. So regardless, we'll probably see at a moment in Vigilantes when he agrees to be a UA teacher, probably before the end of Vigilantes ends, which would make sense. So there's that. But overall, we're cutting back to the present. We're getting back to the main stuff. It looks like next week, now we're going to get the explanation of why we don't see Captain Celebrity in the main series anymore, because he's going back to America.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess that answers the question of why we never saw him, and for my sake.
And here we both thought that he was gonna eventually die or something.
Yeah, we thought he was gonna die. I guess not. He's just going back.
So that's one prediction you also had wrong.
Well, the only thing I'm gonna miss about Captain Celebrity in the dub is Sean Schimmel voices him, so I'm gonna miss Sean Schimmel's Captain Celebrity voice. Which I still can't get over the fact that the voice of Goku is this guy. Well, look, I'm just glad that character's leaving, because I hated that fucking character.
Okay.
They're probably gonna set him up with and it's gonna be crazy because I can totally see how next episode's gonna play. Right? They're gonna give him an emotional goodbye, and that's when he's gonna be crying and everything. Be like, I took everybody for granted. You already know that's coming.
So, no comment.
I'm just gonna say that. Anyways, I'm gonna get. I forgot. We're gonna get out of here. If you guys like the video, leave a like in the comment section. Your thoughts on this past week's episode of MHA, and things like that. So yeah, in terms of stuff that's coming up for the channel, outside of other reviews, Resident Evil Requiem. That playthrough is coming. What I will do is I'm not pre-ordering Resident Evil. I'm just going to buy it Friday morning at my local Best Buy right up the street from my job. So I will record part 1. Hopefully part 1 gets up the night of the game releasing. I'm very excited because it's another Resident Evil game, and I did do my Resident Evil 8, but I never fully finished that playthrough. Now I finished and beat the game, but I just kind of slacked off on that playthrough and I never continued.
Yeah, you did.
So maybe one of these days, maybe I actually go back and replay Resident Evil 8 from the very beginning again. Just for shits and giggles. Albeit, it was a cool game. I just wish it was more horror focused than combat focused, because it really gave me Resident Evil 4 vibes, if anything. But, well, from what I do know, Resident Evil 9, they're going to have that combat system with Leon, and with this new character, Grace Ashcroft, apparently that's when they had the horror element. So, I'm all for that. Personally, if you ask me, I'd rather go for more the horror vibe than the action vibe in my Resident Evil games, but at least it's different from Outlast that you can actually defend yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Well, actually, I don't know if it's great.
If it's mostly horror, then you probably wouldn't be able to defend yourself.
Well, actually, I don't really know if Grace can actually fight. And if you're wondering, I'm doing first person. I heard you can do first person and third person. I'm doing first person. Because first person is the best person. And then, lastly, before I turn it over to my co-host, I think Arknight's Enfield dropped the Yvonne banner. I still got to grind up some Ouroborol's to be able to pull for her. So hopefully I get lucky and I win the 50-50 and I don't get a duplicate S rank or 6-star. So, yes, and if you're wondering if I'm pulling for any of the Angel's Delusion characters for my Zenless Zone Zero, no, I am not.
Although they do look pretty fun, I will say.
Their playstyle is all fun, but I know if I, like, for example, I like playing as, I still got to try out Nagong once she comes out. Now, the little bits and pieces I played of Arya, she looks like a fun character. But it's clear to me she needs fucking Suna to be, obviously, working at her peak, I guess you could say. But I'm all tapped out of pulling for Zenless Zone Zero characters till a character intrigues me. And no, I'm not pulling for Cecilia because I am going to be... I am anti-electric attack units for further notice. They keep doing that stupid strat. I'm just ready for that game to stop giving me electric attack units. Give me an electric... you want me to give me a new electric unit? Give me electric rupture. That's all I asked for. But no, another electric attack unit. It's too bad she's a snake girl and she's hot, but no. Alright, promote your channel.
Yeah, don't forget to subscribe to my channel. I just uploaded my next summoning video, which I pulled for 2 characters, Lupa and Imith. I really pushed my luck with that one, but you go watch it too, Cameron. And don't forget my Code Vein playthrough. I just defeated the first boss of the entire game. Let's just say that one boss was my first, just gave me the first hand of how difficult it is compared to Code Vein 1. Code Vein 2 is a huge difficulty spike. I raged out in that boss. Only that was only the first boss. I don't know what other bosses they have in store, but keep an eye out.
Yeah, maybe next boss you're gonna be throwing your controller at the screen.
I was so close to. I was so close to win this first boss. I was so close to.
I'm so sorry. Hopefully your mental health is in top condition.
Are you watching? Did you watch it already? Or
Pray for my boy's mental health.
I mean, it is a Dark Souls like game, so yeah, I already know what to expect. So
So yeah,
speaking of, you should try Dark Souls sometime. Any Dark Souls game. I'm not saying Code Vein specifically, but any kind of Dark Souls game.
Well, you know me, Mister. I'm Mr. RPG.
I mean, casual.
Anyways, also one more thing before we got up here. Prayers up to the people of Mexico. They're going through a lot. This whole situation over there is not good, and there's a lot of innocent people probably losing their lives and scared out of their minds. So, for those people, hope for the best. Hopefully, this situation calms down sooner rather than later. But yeah, it's bad. So, I'm not saying if you have any trips planned to Mexico, I would not go. I know I wouldn't, but if you do, please be safe. Take care, and make sure you're not going anywhere where you're not supposed to be going. But prayers up to the people of Mexico.
Yeah, but I actually better talk to my mom about that again, just because. I mean, yeah. Those stuff isn't like near where my family's currently living, but that's still concerning.
Anyways, we're gonna go over, guys. Catch you guys in the next video. Till then, guys, stay safe out there. Have a great rest of your day, or your night, or when it's on this video, and we will catch you guys later. So long, guys. Peace.